In the previous video, we learned how to pass journal entries. Now today, the next step, not today, in this video, we'll do the next step, that is ledger posting. Now what is ledger posting? See, you have written these journal entries, right? Cash to capital, bank to cash, purchase to Mr. A, machinery to cash, rent to cash, and so on. What is the process? As in when the transaction takes place, record it. But if I want to know about any one particular account, for example, how much is my total purchase, how much is my total sales, how much is the total rent paid, this book is useless. Why? Because everything you have recorded together. It is just like your rough book in which you have got notes of all the subjects together. When the exam time comes, you can't rely on that book. You need one particular book in which you have got all the details about accounting. So that's why we always suggest you maintain different books for different subjects. So similar way, what the businessman does is he records this every day. End of every fortnight or end of every month, he records them once again in another book which is known as ledger book. How does he maintain ledger book? A T-shaped account. How many ledgers account to be maintained? Based on the accounts that you have created. Let us give them some name. Cash, account number 1. Capital, account number 2. Bank, account number 3. Cash, already you have mentioned, it is account number 1. Purchase, account number 4. Mr. A, account number 5. Machinery, 6. Cash, 1. Rent, 7. Cash, 1. Mr. B, 8. Sales, 9. Salary, 10. Cash, again 1. So what I have to do in this sum, I have to prepare 10 ledger accounts. Ledger accounts in simple word is T shape. As you can see this, right? This and center line, this is what a ledger account looks. Simple, known as a T-shaped account. T-shape, basically what it does is it divides the area into two parts: debit side, credit side, debit side, credit side, debit side, credit side. Let us name them. The first account, cash account. Second one, capital. Third one, bank. Fourth one, purchase. I'm not going to record cash account again. It is already over here. If I keep preparing cash account again, the same thing. There will be a lot of cash accounts. I need all the cash transaction in one place, all the capital transaction over here, all the bank transactions over here, all the purchases over here. Then everything that I deal with Mr. A should come over here. After Mr. A, we have got machinery account. After machinery, that is fifth account. Sixth is again cash. Seventh is rent. Then we have got Mr. B, we have got sales, and we have got salary account. Everybody clear? Right? It will depend upon the question how many accounts has to be prepared. Depending upon each sum, the amount of entries that you return, the number of accounts will increase or decrease. But always remember, as you can see from the board, the maximum space comes to the cash account. Reason? Look at it. How many times cash account has been repeated? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times maximum entries will come in cash account, because we always are interested to do what transactions? Cash transactions. So more of them, more of the space comes over here. Once again, this is my debit side, this is my credit side. How to do the ledger posting? First entry, cash account debited to capital account. Cash account debited to capital account. With how much rupees? Cash account has been debited to capital account. So what has happened to the capital account? Capital account has been credited by cash account. Amount C. Understand chala? It is not complex. It is a very simple funda. Correct na? You go to cash account. बरोबर ना? ये cash account का घर है. विच साइड, डेबिट साइड। ठीक है, हम डेबिट साइड में जाएंगे। हमारे घर में एक मेहमान आया है, मेहमान का नाम क्या है, बोले कैपिटल अकाउंट। तो लिखेंगे भाई डेबिट साइड में एक मेहमान आया है, उसका नाम है टू कैपिटल अकाउंट। एंट्री कैश अकाउंट डेबिटेड टू कैपिटल अकाउंट। अब उल्टा, अब कैश के घर में कैपिटल आया तो कैपिटल के घर में भी कैश जाएगा, राइट ना। लेकिन कैपिटल घर के कौन से कोने में रहता है, वो क्रेडिट साइड में रहता है। ओके, तो हम उसके क्रेडिट साइड में जाएंगे, करेक्ट ना। दिस इज योर क्रेडिट साइड, दिस इज योर डेबिट साइड। क्रेडिट साइड में जाएंगे, लिखेंगे भाई कौन आया है मेहमान घर में, कैश। दैट्स ऑल, सिंपल। सेकेंड वन, बैंक अकाउंट डेबिटेड टू कैश अकाउंट। बैंक अकाउंट डेबिटेड टू कैश अकाउंट। हाउ मच अमाउंट, 10,000. Fine. What has happened to cash account? Cash account has been credited. By which account? By bank account. अब फंडा देखो बेटा, कैश रियल अकाउंट, डेबिट what comes in, credit what goes out. 1 लाख रुपीज आया इन द फॉर्म ऑफ कैपिटल, 10,000 रुपीज गया, कहां पे गया, बैंक में गया। जस्ट फॉर योर नॉलेज। बाकी फंडा क्या है, इधर देखो, देख देख के खाली कॉपी पेस्ट करना है, कट नहीं करना है। वहां पे अपने को चाहिए जर्नल एंट्रीज रहेगा, वहां से देख देख के हमें खाली क्या करना है, रीराइट करना है। अगेन, परचेज अकाउंट डेबिटेड टू मिस्टर ए, परचेज अकाउंट डेबिटेड टू मिस्टर ए, अमाउंट मिस्टर ए credited by purchase. How much amount, 10,000. Machinery account debited to cash account. Machinery account debited to cash account. How much, 50,000. What has happened to cash, credited by machinery account. How much, 50,000. Rent to cash, rent account debited to cash account. How much rupees, 1,000. Fine. What has happened to cash, it has been credited by whom, by rent, by rent account, 1,000 rupees. Mr. B to sales, Mr. B to sales, 15,000. Sales credited by Mr. B. How much rupees, 15,000. Salary to cash, salary account debited to cash. How much, 4,000. What has happened to cash, by salary. What does the businessman do? जर्नल एंट्री लिख लिया, एवरी 15 डेज यहां से यहां पे मार दो, अनदर 15 डेज अगेन डाल दो। पूरा महीने का भी कुछ लोग साथ में लिखेंगे, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द नंबर ऑफ ट्रांजेक्शंस। इफ द नंबर ऑफ ट्रांजेक्शंस आर लेस, ही मे वेट फॉर द एंड ऑफ द मंथ। द नंबर ऑफ ट्रांजेक्शंस टू हाई, ही मे डू इट एवरी वीकेंड ऑल्सो, राइट। नाउ व्हाट इज द पर्पस ऑफ डूइंग दिस थिंग? A simple thing. So for example, this is on the 7th day, I am doing it on weekly basis. At the 7th day, I want to know how much money I am having in my hand, how much cash. See, here I have got 1 lakh rupees in my business, but then I paid into bank 10,000. 1 lakh minus 10,000, 90,000. Fine. Here nothing. Here I am buying a machine or 50,000. Again cash is going. 90,000 था, 50 गया, 40,000 बचा. Fine. Rent to cash again 1,000 गया, 40 में से again 1,000, 39,000. Again cash गया 4,000, 39 minus 4 some 35,000. This, or rather I'll do over here 1 lakh. I got 1 lakh rupees. 1 lakh rupees. From 1 lakh I subtract the same thing. 50 plus 10, 60, 65. So it comes to how much? So what is my balance? 35,000. See, as an owner of the business, you are worried what this happens, but you are more interested to know at the end of a period how much is the balance. Not interested how much transaction came in, how much money came in, how much money went out. That will be coming in cash flow statement. But here, before I prepare the cash flow statement, I want to know how much money do I have in my hand at any given period of time, end of the month or 31st March. Okay, this much I am having 35,000 rupees. I started with 1 lakh, I spent some money, I received some money, and now I have how much in my hand? 35,000. Capital, I started with 1 lakh. 1 lakh. I put 1 lakh over here. How much did it reduce by? Doesn't reduce. So it is still how much my balance? My capital balance is 1 lakh rupees. In my bank, I had put 10,000. But then I have not issued any check. So how much still bank has? It still has 10,000. Purchased. I only purchased once in the last 7 days. How much is my balance? Same. 10,000 rupees. My balance is 10,000 rupees. Mr. A, I had purchased. Who is Mr. A? I am buying goods on credit. I have to pay to him. He is my liability. I have purchased goods of 10,000. If I pay him anything, it will be recorded on this side. For example, if you have paid him 2,000, Mr. A to cash. Mr. A to cash, the amount will reduce. But you have not paid, so the amount remains as it is. 10. Now this is a boring job in which you have to find the balance, but it is very necessary to balance. Similarly here, machinery 50k, 50k by balance. Rent paid 1,000, both the side. See, in accountancy, we always see to it that the totals are tallied. What is the difference? The balance comes over here. You don't add this, again you add this, then you subtract. No, I'm not teaching mathematics. We are with accountancy. Here everything should get, the total of both the sides should be same, so that we get a balancing amount which we are more interested. 15,000. Here difference comes to how much? 15,000 by Mr. B. Sorry, by balance. Sales, you have sold only once. 15,000 to balance. Last comes my salary account. By balance. Understood? Ledger posting. We start from journal entry. Correct now? Where did we start from journal entry? We got some transactions, recorded some transactions over here. We did a little bit of rough work, cash or credit, rules of debit and credit. We came to this. From here, we did this. Right? Now, in real life, a businessman has to do this around the year. Around the year, every 15 days, he does the ledger posting, he finds the balance, he carry forwards to the next day. This process continues till 31st March. Children, in the initial lectures, I told you about accounting period concept. A businessman generally maintains books of accounts, or he finds his profit or loss after a gap of one accounting year, one full year, 12 months. In India, we follow income tax year, which is 1st April to 31st March. This thing starts from 1st April, keeps on doing. On 31st March also, he does the same thing. Now, the small difference is on 31st March, when he closes this, he finds the balances. Right now, what he is going to do is, before he carry forward to the next accounting year, he will prepare one more statement. I'm erasing this, and that statement is known as trial balance. Trial balance is again a T-shaped statement. There are two formats. You can have a T-shaped account or a statement format. I'll prepare a T-shape. Debit balance, amount, credit balances, amount. Now, debit and credit balances you have to understand. Here, 35,000 is the balance of cash account. It is written on the credit side, but the balance is the opposite of it, that is debit. I'll record over here, cash. This is the most confusing thing. Sir, you're writing the balance in the ledger account on the credit side, but on the trial balance, let me name it properly over here. On the trial balance, which you are preparing end of the year, you are writing on the opposite side. A simple logic for this. Minus 10 plus 3 is equal to minus 7. Plus 10 minus 3 is equal to plus 7. This we have studied in maths. I am applying the same rule. Symbol किसका लगा? बड़ा वैल्यू का लगा. राइट ना, इधर -10 3 से बड़ा है तो तुमने माइनस लगाया, इधर +10 जो है +10 का वैल्यू बड़ा है 3 से, वो पॉजिटिव है, उसका तुमने पॉजिटिव लगाया। डेबिट का टोटल 1 लाख है, क्रेडिट का टोटल कम है, इसके लिए डिफरेंस यहाँ पे आया, लेकिन टोटल कौन सी साइड का ज़्यादा है बेटा चिल्ड्रन? द टोटल ऑफ डेबिट साइड इज मोर, सो द बैलेंस इज व्हाट? डेबिट. As I told you in accountancy, we have a habit, we want to tally all the account. That's why we write it. यहाँ पे 35,000 लिखोगे तभी ये tally होगा. 35 कम है यहाँ पे, कौन से साइड में ज़्यादा है? डेबिट साइड में. So that is why we record it in the opposite side. यहाँ पे हम क्या करते हैं, एक्चुअली इसको एक और स्टेप करना चाहिए, इसको इधर लिखना चाहिए as what? To opening balance. Getting this children? Similarly, look at capital. The difference you have written on which side? Debit side. Here it will go to the credit side. Capital 1 lakh. Next is bank. The difference is written on the credit side. I'll write on the debit side. Bank 10,000. Purchases, credit side. You'll write that on the debit side. Purchase 10,000. Mr. A, the balance is on the debit, so I'll write on the credit. Mr. A 10,000. Machine, credit side, so here it will come on the debit side. Machinery 50,000. Rent, credit side, so here on the debit side. Rent 1,000. Mr. B, credit side, so here on the debit side. Mr. B 15,000. Sales, debit side, it will go to the credit side. Sales 15,000. Salary, credit side, here on the debit side. Salary 4,000. Now let us see what is the total. 1,25,000. 35 plus 10 45, 45 plus 10 55, 55 plus 50 1,05,000, 1,05,000, 1,06,000, 1,10,000, 1,00,000. That should always remain same. That should always remain same. The total of the trial balance should get tallied. See, what we did is, there was one journal entry when two keywords were coming together. We separated them. एक को डेबिट में डाल दिया, एक को क्रेडिट में डाल दिया journal entry में. फिर वहाँ से हमने उसको अलग अलग घर में डाला. एक डेबिट वाला घर था, एक क्रेडिट वाला घर था. अलग अलग जगह पे उसको हमने डाला. फिर घुमा फिरा के वापस उसको हम यहाँ पे लेकर आ गए. अब जब यहाँ पे लेकर आ गए, चीज़ तो वही है बेटा. सो द टोटल शुड टैली. अगर टोटल सेम नहीं आया तो तुमने यहाँ पे कहीं ना कहीं पे यहाँ पे journal entry में मिस्टेक किया है. ट्रायल बैलेंस का मेन पर्पस है बेटा टू चेक वेदर अकाउंट्स आर अरिथमेटिकली करेक्ट और नॉट. Getting this? Understood the process from journal entry up to trial balance. Now you can have hundreds of transactions. Each will come to an end over here. On the basis of this, children, you will prepare your income statement, you will prepare your balance sheet, and on the basis of that, you do your analysis work. Clear?